Professor Ravi Batra, one of my favorite economists on earth, the guy who literally a decade ago, maybe a little more than that, not only saw where we are right now, but wrote a book about it, several of them, in fact. And he has been preaching this song for a long, long time, and it must be bittersweet, Dr. Batra. Let me finish the introduction here, and then I'll ask you. He's a professor of economics at Southern Methodist University, literally internationally best-selling author of numerous books, including Greenspan's Fraud and The New Golden Age, two of my favorites. You can read all about him and his work at his website, Ravi Batra, R-A-V-I, Batra, B-A-T-R-A.com. And Professor Batra, welcome back to our program.
Thanks a lot, Tom, for having me again.
Oh, it's always an honor. It must be bittersweet to have predicted a disaster and then have it happen.
Oh yeah, it's very bitter because my whole purpose was to avert a disaster like this. After all, just see what's happening. 18 to 20 million Americans jobless for 4 years. Can you believe that? 3-4 years. Yeah. So it's really terrible out there, and but maybe something good will come out of it in the sense that we will get rid of this crony capitalism once and for all.
Well, and let's talk about that. And that's a topic that you and I haven't talked about much in the past. It's been more kind of macroeconomics. How do you define crony capitalism? And what have been the times in Americans' history when we've been basically a crony capitalist state as opposed to what are the alternatives? Regulated capitalism, laissez-faire capitalism. Let's do some, kind of Econ 101 here stuff.
Well, crony capitalism is where big business and their CEOs can buy up the politicians and have the politicians pass laws in their favor, laws regarding taxes, free trade, banking regulations, buying stocks or not, and so on. So these laws are passed in their favor, and then they claim that everything is legitimate, this is free market, and this is in the best interest of everybody. But the system works to the advantage of these capitalists, the big business CEOs, not the small business CEO. That guy, small business CEO, is working very hard. But the big business CEO is not working that hard and raking in a lot of money in terms of salaries and bonuses. Mm-hmm. So that's crony capitalism. And there have been times in history when it became very strong. That once it was in the 1890s, crony capitalism,
Gilded Age,
very strong, and then it became very strong in the 1920s.
Right. But
after 1980, it has reached its peak in terms of its influence on corrupting the politician.
It's interesting that we refer to those times with positive adjectives: the Gilded Age, the Roaring 20s, the go-go 80s and 90s. Why would that be? Because the stock market jumped so much, and when people make money left and right without working, it sounds so good. But maybe we refer to them as go-go roaring 20s, but we should also remember then the teary-eyed 1930s. Right.
And what we are having now, the 2010s, and it started in 2000 at the end of 2007. And it has been now 4 years, and people are still jobless. Millions of them are jobless. And on top of it, there is no hope. That's what's killing our economy. There is no hope left because nobody is trying to challenge the power of crony capitalists. And that's where this new movement that has just started, that's a very promising movement.
Yeah, the Occupy Wall Street movement or the 99% movement.
That's right.
Choose your name. And your thoughts on that? I know you wrote a very, very interesting piece about this and what government should do to fix it. I'd love to hear those.
Well, first I wanted to show that this movement is going to succeed for sure because the time is ripe for it. After all, people are not just going to sit idly by when they are unemployed for 4 or 5 years and that there is no hope. So they are going to do something to challenge these big business type people. But the question is, what should be our demands? What should we demand from the government? What will fix this economy once and for all? And so I wrote this piece 2-3 days ago, and mostly it was a list of the things that have happened in the past 30 years that have destroyed American job machine. We used to create a lot of jobs every decade, but no more. So the question is, what is responsible for all that? And I came up with a list of about 9 different things that have happened over the past 3 decades, ever since after Reagan took over. That's when we had these problems, and they are not going away.
Yeah, and
so
this is...
Go ahead. The first thing on the list is the 1981, the income tax cut that occurred in 1981. That's what started it all, because that was a huge tax cut for the wealthy, and they got a lot of money from that, wealthy individuals and corporations. But then the budget deficit shot up. And those days, the United States could not just go out and borrow money from China and Japan. So they had to do something about this deficit. And now, lo and behold, they started raising all other taxes. I mean, the cut in the income tax was responsible for the deficit, but they started raising all other taxes. All other federal taxes went up, and very sharply. Social Security tax jumped. The self-employment tax, you won't believe it, it rose by 66% in 1983.
Wow.
So they raised all other taxes, and this itself made the rich very rich, made the rich richer, and started to destroy the middle class.
Small businesses.
Now they had to pay very high taxes.
Right, and this is why you don't see small businesses represented in the shopping centers, malls, and downtown streets of America anymore.
Well, that was the first, that was the first salvo against small business, but then a lot more came later. Second part, there are a lot of antitrust laws which are essentially anti-monopoly laws, which make sure that very profitable large businesses don't merge with each other, because they cut competition, raise costs and profits, but everybody else suffers. Right. So there are a lot of antitrust laws, but the government has to enforce them, and they stopped enforcing those antitrust laws. So industry after industry was wiped out. The small businesses in industry after industry were wiped out as these big boys simply bought up the small companies and laid off millions of people in the process. And even when they didn't lay them off, they cut wages for those who remained. So that was the second
two companies, when they become one, they don't need 2 sales departments. They don't need 2 accounting departments. They don't need 2, fill in the blanks. There's lots of stuff they don't need 2 of. I wrote about this in a chapter I titled "In Praise of Inefficiency." It seems like,
exactly.
I really think a certain amount of inefficiency in a system is a very healthy thing, and this efficiency, this increase in efficiency, is just as you point out.
This is how you define efficiency. If efficiency is defined in terms of raising the living standard of the entire society, then the efficiency does not go up.
Then it's not at all efficient. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Stick around just to say, Dr. Ravi Batra is with us. He'll be back.